Alrighty. Hello, everybody. We will be talking about Wild North today.
By JB Salsbury.
I feel like this synopsis is really lacking in detail. I was just glancing over it.
You're just going to have to come up with your own synopsis to tell everybody.
Well, you see. We are following our female main character, Jordan, who goes to a trip into the mountains with her... It's her fiance, right? They're not married yet. Or not even.
They're not.
He just gave her a promise
ring.
promise
ring.
Yeah. Her boyfriend, her long-term boyfriend. And while they're there at the cabin, she finds out he's been cheating on her with her best friend, who is also there at the cabin. So she is dumb and takes off into the wilderness alone. And gets hurt.
She falls off a cliff.
This is the synopsis.
How do you fall off?
That you guys.
And she is rescued by Grizzly, who is kind of like very fierce and territorial and distant and cold, and he's just not the nicest dude ever, but he takes her in and helps her. And
have you seen Mom anywhere?
She went that
His
way.
real name's Alexander.
That we don't find out until like almost halfway through the book.
Yeah, we just call him
Grizzly.
Grizzly. And honestly, like it was... I don't know.
I have a feeling we're gonna like jump right into spoilers. It's not even gonna be.
It's so hard to not talk about spoilers. I don't know what from there is really a spoiler. Probably anything, right?
Yeah.
So what did everybody rate it?
4.
I gave it a 4 too.
Same. Well, I'm glad we all agree.
Right?
Well,
I think
I
that's
wish
the first one.
This was actually a win for us.
I kind of wish there was one of us who was like, I hated it. I gave it a 2.
No.
This is a very... If somebody is looking into getting into dark romance, this is an extremely light dark romance.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I don't even know if I'd call it dark.
Yeah, like it is like if you're on the spectrum, it's like, and this is the middle, it's like
just one little tick.
Like,
because I was waiting for some like nasty dungeon room or something, and I'm waiting. I'm like, the big reveal is coming. It's coming, and then I'm waiting. I'm like, dude, what's your problem? What's your big secret?
In the cabin? You were expecting that in the cabin?
Anywhere. Because
you wanted it to go 50 Shades of Grey.
I didn't know. That's how it felt. It felt very 50 Shades of Grey meets Beauty and the Beast to me.
Yeah, I think when they finally got back to like the city, it definitely had those vibes. But I liked the 50 Shades of Grey books when I read them. They were my first like smut book.
I got so mad at those. But I had already read other smut books, and I'm like, this lady just Google searched. And then you find out that's how she wrote the book, and I'm like, yep.
I've never read them.
They're, I mean, better than the movies. Those movies were awful.
Movies were awful.
I only saw the first one. But
I thought Dakota Johnson was a lot stronger than the book one.
I
forget what her name is.
Darn.
Oh no.
Things.
It's a plague.
Oh no, So, I don't know if I ever told you guys, when I was born, I had my umbilical cord wrapped around my neck. I was born dead. And so like my throat, like it actually like shifts. Like the whole trachea like moves. And so like if I move wrong, sometimes it just gets stuck.
Ouch.
And so I have to like crack it back in place. Yeah, it's gross.
Oh.
Yeah. So it makes me cough. So like I cough a lot because I have a jacked up throat.
Gotcha.
Not because I'm actually sick.
I cough a lot because of asthma.
Yeah, that too.
For me. I have my sniffles all the time. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I've only met one other person who can do that. Like their whole trachea, like
Yeah, mine doesn't go anywhere.
yeah. Most people's don't. It's not supposed to. But like mine does. It like it
Oh,
moves.
just thinking about it moving freaks me out.
And it crack like when you
It's
do
gonna
it.
hold my neck forever
Yeah.
now.
it would
You can
scare the
feel it,
crap
like-
out of me if I was sleeping and all of a sudden I can't breathe and that's what I have to do.
Yeah. And you can feel it like grinding and stuff. And like when I cry, it gets stuck to the point where like I seriously have to like smack it back in place. It sucks.
No bueno.
Anyway, now that we all talked about that gross thing,
That would scare me so bad. Like I'd be dead.
I've dealt with
panic.
I've dealt with it my whole life though. Like when I was a baby, like my mom couldn't let me cry because it would literally collapse. Yeah.
That sucks.
I'm sure nowadays it's different, but Germany back in the early 90s, that's what you had to do. Anyway, continue.
I don't even know where we were at.
Her boyfriend
4
person
stars.
sucks. Her, bo-
4
first off,
stars.
her boyfriend sucks. Her best friend is terrible. But also, what's up with the random dude? Like, why are you just like, man?
I
Just, like,
wrote
supporting
in
your
my
friend doing it.
Goodreads that it was like so close to a true crime podcast. Like she had no protective instinct at all.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, she would have been dead 12 times over.
Mm-hmm.
She's just so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
No street smarts or
Like,
wilderness
yeah.
smarts.
And I know that. Are we going to talk about like him as a character or anything like that now, or do you want to wait until spoilers?
Talk about it now. Go ahead.
Well, he's on the spectrum, and you find out that he's been tested and things like that. And my thing is that he was more self-aware of what he was trying to protect her from than she was of every situation she put herself in. And when he would call her out, you know, because people that I know that are on the spectrum, they're just blunt. Like,
Mhm.
you're dumb. You are absolutely stupid. I'm like, yes, she is. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like from therapy that he was as self-aware as he was, because he's obviously been dealing
I
with
thought
this his
it
whole life. But
Mhm.
See, and I was like, does he just have like a level of autism, you know, because like all spectrum or whatever, or does he have like sociopathy too?
I don't know. I don't think that the
Possible.
author put that much thought into that. Not realizing that a lot of spicy people read spicy books and that we look for those kind of things in character.
Because some of the stuff he does, I'm like, and it might just be because of like the way he was raised and like how his family like doesn't like him, isn't like basically, you know. But like some of the stuff he does, like it doesn't really make sense unless he also had sociopathy as well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's very possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't think it was ever said like specifically.
Mm-mm. It never even said that he was autistic. It just said that he was a genius. He was tested and he was a genius. That's all it said.
Right.
But like,
But the screens and like how he obsessed about things,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
yeah.
was very ism.
Mm-hmm.
He's very protective of his belongings and like
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I thought he was a lot like Beast from Beauty and the Beast, where like, you know how in the cartoon where he's like, would you join me for dinner? And then she says no, and he goes, that's what I saw every time he asked her to do something.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that's completely accurate.
That's funny. I didn't even think about that though.
I haven't seen Beauty and the Beast in so long that I kind of like forgot his mannerisms. But now that you say that, that's completely
Even
yeah.
when he got dressed up and for that thing, and she's like, "You look so pretty," or something like that, and he's like, "Stupid." Like I was like, "Oh my god."
He's wild.
I liked him overall, though.
I think I started like this probably could have stayed a 5-star book for me had they stayed out in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
It turned when they came back to civilization. I did not enjoy being out in the wilderness and her being so stupid.
I mean,
But she could have learned, because like she was willing to learn.
He
You know,
could've
like
taught her.
she wanted to learn how to like fish and stuff. You know, so like
and then she threw the fishing rod into the
I know.
lake.
I know. I was like, oh no. I was like, you know, it's got to be an expensive rod too. Especially
like-
as somebody who loves fishing, I was like,
I'm just gonna put the spoilers banner up now because this is really hard to talk about without talking about spoilers. But yeah, she was willing to learn if he was more willing to be patient and teach her things.
No, that my thing. My thing was that she was dumb where she kept pushing that nerve, that last nerve that he was like teetering on. And she's like, I just want to see what happens if I do it. And I'm like, girl, you got broken ribs. You got busted up because you went for a nature walk. And you're trying to prod this guy.
I am a total poke the bear person. I will poke and poke and poke. Especially if it's someone like that like isn't willing to like open up, but like there's obviously a connection, but he's just being guarded for no stupid reason. Like I would have been her. I would have poked.
Yeah.
But I also wouldn't have thrown the fishing rod into the lake.
Yeah.
Or fallen off a cliff.
That was painful, honestly. That's so sad.
I just don't know that I feel like was a totally different character when they got to the city.
Can I just say before we get to the city that the thing with the what was it? Was it a mountain lion? Or cougar? Whatever it was. Oh my gosh. Was the cutest thing. She threw the fish at
You gave it our dinner.
Oh my gosh, it was so adorable. You know what?
And her ass just took off running and left him behind. She's like, bye.
You know what I'm gonna say is if you like the first part of it where they are out in the woods, then you would like that Yeti Christmas book that my sister wrote.
I did.
I know. I know. But like as we were talking about it, I was like, you know, he acts a lot the same. But more marshmallow. It's cute.
But also like the Yeti had never been in society. He's a Yeti, right?
Yeah.
Like you expect him to act like this. This guy's just a jackass. I loved him, but he's just a jackass.
I totally felt like I was with her when she had to go pee in the outhouse that first time. And then she's like, the nature sucks so hard. I was like, yep, that's me. That's me camping.
I mean, look, outhouses are never a good time.
Especially in the ice and snow.
I don't like being cold.
When they went back into the city, if we can continue that, like the fact that like he wanted her around, but he didn't even like try to see if she was okay, even though like I don't know, it was weird.
Yeah, his brothers just kind of like whisked him off, and then like he just totally ignored the fact that she was there, but like was obsessing over her the whole time. Like, why didn't you just go to her then?
Yeah, and was like watching the security cameras and stuff, and it's just like, I don't know.
And the fact that he had to prove to her that he said goodbye through security cameras, and she's like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "Excuse me."
Yeah, she doesn't care that he has security cameras on her. She cares that he didn't say hi or bye.
She was like, and then, okay, so since we're in the spoilers and they're back in the city, can we bitch about her douchebag boyfriend getting
Yeah.
rid of all her stuff, thinking she was dead, not even sending anybody to look for her, ending up with the girlfriend. The girlfriend's stuff is in their apartment.
So I will say technically they did send people to go look for her. They did tell the ranger, and the rangers went, but because of the snowstorm, they weren't really able to look for her.
But it's only been 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when she couldn't get in, I thought maybe he moved out and moved in with Courtney. And that's why she couldn't get in. But then to find out that he even took the rent out of her account.
Yeah. Yeah, that was annoying. And the $50 out of her wallet.
Yeah.
I was like,
I thought you were dead. That makes it okay? Like,
right.
Not yours.
I was talking to myself because it was like 2 a.m. here, and I knew you guys were up. But I was like, you freaking douche.
Yeah, that was I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, he was awful. Like,
and then for her to not, I don't know, that's where the self-preservation comes in for me. You're telling me you didn't have anybody in your life that you could have left your job and figured out something.
No, because her best friend was sleeping with them. What I want to know is why he didn't, why didn't he break up with her to get with the best friend? Like, why were they sneaking around? And then when she came back,
I think that he was just one of those guys that enjoyed that element of it to get caught.
Yeah, but like, what about her friend?
What about her friend? Her friend could have said something. Been like, "Oh, I slept with your boyfriend." Like, it was shitty. Obviously, like that would break a friendship. But like, I don't know. You wouldn't think that she'd also want to be doing that, like especially to your friend.
Yeah, and she would take her uniform. That was the other thing. The best friend took the uniform because you know that was her uniform. That was the best friend's uniform.
And then like tried to pity give it back. Like, oh, I have a spare you could wear. Yeah, mine.
And then she takes that crappy situation and then goes, well, it wasn't that bad for 3 weeks with this guy that grunted at me and didn't even speak to me. I guess I'll go move in his penthouse and let his brother pick my clothes. Like, she drove me nuts.
I mean, honestly, I'd rather be with that dude than be with the cheater boyfriend.
And I'll let someone take me shopping for all this.
Right. Well, like the Cinderella aspect, I think we all would love that. But at the same time, I'm just like, girlfriend.
Logically, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. Especially when you know there's something like weird going on. Like his situation and all of his like family being so overprotective. Like, you know, there's something weird happening.
Right. When the lawyer brother comes to you with an NDA, fresh out the gate,
probably red flags.
So I know you guys really like Kingston, the one brother that took her shopping, but I kind of am interested in the one with the jerk brother, the lawyer one. But I'm also interested in the other one.
I understood why he was such a douche, but I loved Kingston's. I love that bad boy personality in anything, in any of my my media.
I just thought he was so goofy. I loved his goofy.
But my thing is, but I know, okay, and this is going off topic kind of. Like, I know the tropes in the next book with him is like him lying, and I'm kind of not looking forward to it because of that, you know?
Well, I read that he gets jumped. That's what happens when he's drunk going out of the thing, and he gets mugged, and that's how the girl finds him, and that's what leads to the next book. And I'm just like, they just left him to go home. And he got mugged somewhere. Like, what happened?
Mm.
My thing is, I don't know, is he really so much lying or does he just not know?
He could be bi-curious and never really.
I think he just like hasn't
Explored.
explored it. Is
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong, but like that's his character vibe gave me
Mm-hmm.
the I could go any which direction vibes. But maybe he hasn't tried going any which direction yet.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see.
Mm-hmm. But
Also, what you were saying, Kristen, with like the whole like self-preservation thing, that chef dude.
right, that was the other thing.
Like,
Yeah, I'm
can
gonna
you
go to
not?
Arizona and take this tennis bracelet and not think that there's something else that he wants. Excuse
And
me?
he's wanting, and he's wanting to like feed you, and oh my gosh, I was just
Oh
like,
God,
girl.
when he fed her, I'm like, no, go, just stand up and say thank you for the interview and walk on out of there, because I really thought it was gonna turn. I thought
She's,
that was
yeah,
gonna be the
she's like,
darkness.
it's gonna be. She's like, he just really cares about his employees or whatever, and I'm just like, girl, you've
been working at Hooters a little bit too long.
I mean, that's probably the kind of thing that goes down in the place she works.
Right.
Maybe that's normal.
I mean, wasn't Jeremy or whatever his name was, her boyfriend? Wasn't he like the manager
Mm-hmm.
or like one of the like
one of the?
So like
So
literally
that's a theme and a type.
Yeah. I do like that he got her a restaurant though. That was cute.
That was cute.
Well, I was just reading briefly the synopses for the other 3 books, and it sounds like book 4 is going to maybe be my least favorite because it looks like there's the pregnancy trope, and I don't like that. That's like the one trope that I hate.
I hate it when they use it to snag another character. Like we're going into 2025 and that's still a way to tie down things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you guys think about the big reveal?
I mean, I kind of saw it coming. The fact that they kept hinting, "Oh, you did something bad to this girl. You did something bad to this girl."
But I
and
thought
like,
he physically did something to her. Like he was exploring something or whatever and it went wrong. Not what he did. And I'm like, okay.
So
he has an ism. She pushed his buttons. He thought he was going to. It just didn't happen that way.
I mean, I kind of saw, like, I didn't think it was going to be like some sort of like sexual thing. I thought that he was going to be like upset about something and fly off the handle because they had mentioned you can't get angry, like multiple times to him.
But like they treated him like garbage for something that was like clearly mostly an accident. Like
it was set up by his dad. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody's like, well, that's dad. And it's like,
yeah, the fact that the dad literally like hired her to pretend to be his girlfriend.
And meanwhile was using her for his own pleasures.
Yep.
It's so gross. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. And I was like, okay, so yeah, that's a big reveal and everything. But at the same time, like, why did he have to do hush money for the family if it was seen as an accident? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why it was so lockboxed other than the fact that it's this big company. I mean, Elon Musk has to have some bodies somewhere. Like, I just have a feeling.
Yeah, I don't. Even like the way it happened too. Like, wasn't he driving and she kind of like went after him?
Yeah, she unbuckled it.
Like,
She kept trying to make his face turn to her so that she could yell at him and
like
how dumb
she
he was.
basically did it.
Yeah.
Like, why are we treating him like a villain?
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's mostly just his family doing that. Like, his brothers are the ones victimizing him.
Yeah.
I love the one brother. Was it Hayes or Kingston? Where he had the file and then he was in the room when they found out that she had left with the chef and he Hulk smashed everything. And the brother's like, there's nothing left. And he was like, oh my God.
That was the lawyer. Yep.
Yeah. I was dying. I was like, you better run. He's going to throw you.
Yeah, that part cracked me up too. I was like, yeah.
These boys are wild.
That was so funny.
But like for me, what I wish there was more of is backstory about their childhood because they're all blood related, right? So were they all seeds that were sown by this jerk of a father and then they were mushed together when he found out he was the father of all these kids?
Essentially.
Or were they all from the same mom or some of them from the same mom and they were in the foster system together? That's what I would like a little backstory.
Grace has a different mom.
Okay.
Yeah, so Alexander's mom ended up like they were basically like the dad slept with her, whatever. She got pregnant. They were living just the two of them until she died, and then she was in the foster system. He was in the foster system while they were trying to find him.
Okay.
The twins were with the lady he's married to now.
Oh,
the
okay.
dad. And so
and what about Hayes?
Whatever. And then Kingston, the young one, in it you find out that his mom is was she an actress or something like overseas? And when he finds out that Kingston, was born and is his, he brought him over. He brought Kingston over because they do talk about that in there.
Because I kind of blended his story and her story because she had the messed up mom too.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of blended them together. So I was like, I wish.
But her mom just like abandoned her basically multiple times. His mom, if I remember correctly, died.
Yeah.
And when they were trying to find his dad, that's when he ended up in the foster system. And then they finally were able to like take him out once they found him.
All right. Because I know that he was like violent in the foster system.
Mm-hmm.
And then they tried to put him into public school and that didn't go so well.
Yeah. So basically the only two that are full-blooded siblings are twins.
Okay.
The other ones are all just related by dad.
Okay.
But Alexander is the oldest from a lady before the lady he's married to.
Gotcha.
But I think he was the last one to get brought into the family with the dad.
Yeah, and then everybody was upset because he was just brought in, but then treated as the golden child and stuff because he's a genius and he's the oldest.
That explains. Okay, all right, because that's where I was getting confused. I'm like, was this man just planting seeds and collecting Pokemon? Like, what is he doing?
Basically, he just got a twofer with one of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Essentially, yeah.
I was just looking at all the books on my desk right now. I definitely have a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all
look identical.
Well, you definitely fit the box that's white on the cover or whatever.
Right?
So this is off topic again, but I just got a notification about it, so I have to bring it up. There are two guys in Oregon who were found not alive recently, that they were supposed to be home on Christmas Eve, but they never were until they were hunting for them for the last like 3 days. And they died of exposure when they were hunting for Sasquatch.
Oh, good God.
Wait,
In
in real life?
Oregon. In Oregon. Mhm. Yeah. No, in real life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, good
It
job.
was I'm assuming a dad and a son, because one was like 56 and one was 37. One was 59 and one was 37. But yeah.
Hey.
If I called my dad up and was like, "Hey, let's go hunting Sasquatch," he'd be like, "What the hell's wrong with you? Are you okay?"
I mean, Jake would go with me, but more likely he has a bunch of friends who hunt Sasquatches. Like they actually have like all the infrared stuff and like cameras and like they have all this stuff.
They do.
He'd be like,
Of course they do.
he'd be like, "Hey, she wants to go hunt a Sasquatch." But no, they really did in Skamania County. Yeah.
So you got your Sasquatch community, and Steph has her ghost hunting community.
What's your community, Kristen? What do you go
I
for?
have no idea.
You got to figure it out.
I don't know.
I love ghost hunting. It's so fun. I know it's ridiculous. I'm well aware. It's just so fun to scare the crap out of yourself.
I watch
I
videos
love
on ghost
going to
hunting.
places that were based off of stuff. Like when I went to New Orleans and I got to see Anne Rice's house, and I took pictures in front of these people that actually live there. In front of their house. I love to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Like
I like the history of it. I like the history of all the buildings. And like most of the ghost hunters go to places with obviously sad histories, because those are the ones that are
Yeah.
more likely to be haunted. So like you always get all the sanatorium.
Yeah. I'd love to go to the Pennsylvania prison that they do the tours now. I'd love to go there.
That's supposed to
You
be
want
a
to
really
you want to
spooky
know
one.
where it would be really cool for both of you to go is the oh man, what's it called? It's in Dublin. It's the old jail. Hold on. It's
I'm not
so
going
cool.
anywhere in Europe.
It's so cool.
Europe places are a different kind of paranormal.
The Kilmainham
those
jail.
those druids are gonna latch onto me, and I don't know if that's a good thing.
So it's called the Kilmainham jail. It was so cool. Like this is the like where all the
Oh, I went there. I've been there. It's really
The-
cool.
I want to go in there. Oh, I've been there.
I've been there. I've taken pictures.
Have you though?
Yeah. Yeah, send pictures. I went with my friends in 2018 when we were in Dublin. I went to the Guinness thing. I went to that and some other stuff.
That place is so cool though, because like they still have like the old wall with all the like bullet holes and stuff from the firing squads, and like the little tiny rooms that like people would go and like steal stuff so that they would go to jail so that they could get like a bowl of soup a day because of the potato famine. They were all like starving and stuff. Like there was a lot of history there. It was so cool.
And we were told that there were times that they'd put rat poison in the broth to help with population control.
I've been
It's
to
just
quite a
crazy.
few places in Arizona here because we have a lot of like old mining towns and stuff. We also have Tombstone, which I went to the Birdcage Theater there. That was probably one of the most like active, I guess, places that I've gone on like a ghost tour too. And I did like a nighttime one, so it was like pitch blackout, so that just added to the creepy. But like we all went and sat backstage because it was a theater, so we went to the backstage and like all sat around a table, and you could just hear like stuff moving and creaking around the room.
Wow.
It was so eerie, but it was so cool.
That's so cool though. Well, now we're completely off topic.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's fine. But I love watching those.
It
on
tracks
YouTube.
for us, though.
So you were mentioning New Orleans.
Mhm.
So because I can't go in February, which I'm very upset about, but a year from then, in March is they're doing the Sinners and Stardust, but a different version in New Orleans
Okay.
in 2026. And I was talking to Steph about it. I was like, because we could easily drive from here and then we could do like drive back up and stay at the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can just all read our, dark romance books.
Read our smut.
I'm game. I can figure it out.
And at least that's still like a year away. More than a
Yeah.
year away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very upset that I'm not going to be able to meet everybody in February. Like, I'm so, like, I literally was crying the other night about it. And Jake was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Ah." Like, I was struggling.
Well, at least it's just the fantasy romance one, and you're not a huge fantasy romance reader anyway.
Yeah, but like, still, that's where like everyone's going,
Not anymore. It's just 3 of us.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just
Hannah's
I think it's
going,
just
right?
me, Kristen, and April.
Oh,
Hannah's not going.
wow.
She has some family stuff going on, so she's looking to sell her tickets, and then she has a room available. That's one of the reasons why I made the video that I made, because there's 60 days, and if you have rooms in your name
Mm-hmm.
and you have to put a deposit or anything like that down, or you are responsible for the deposit, we got to switch stuff around and cancel things. We got to move on it soon.
I don't know if April has her own room or if she's staying with someone else. We'll have to find out.
Okay.
Because we don't have a room at the convention. I don't know if there would even be one at this
Well, then
point.
let me talk to Hannah, because she had one.
Okay.
So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get everybody on board, because I didn't know because everybody had their own thing before and after. So I figure out what we can do, and then if Steph wants to change things around, you have time for that too.
Yep. Yeah, because Maggie's not going anymore either. She needs to resell hers.
No. And then I didn't know if Erin was going, and then Nikki, she's been off grid.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
So.
But it sounds like she has a good couple of the books.
So Nikki, if you're watching, contact Maggie about those books, because we're all waiting. But you okay, Jenny?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to get off the live and then we'll just go on a video chat?
No, it's okay.
Well, we can kind of wrap the live up anyway, because I think unless someone else has anything to talk about Wild North anymore.
Are you going to continue the series, or are you just going to put it on a back burner to come back to?
I will probably just not.
Yeah, I don't.
Because knowing like the tropes and stuff for Kingston's, which is book 2, and how he basically like lies to her, like, and I understand that he might not know whatever, but like he doesn't like, because he in the synopsis he says, "My brother's convinced her that I'm gay, but I'm not, but I'm going to pretend I am so I can get close to her." Like,
Yeah.
I'm not like, I don't want to read that. And then I don't like the pregnancy trope. And then I don't even remember what the other one was about. So like, I'm just good.
Okay.
I like the first one. I'm glad that we read this one because I really liked it. But yeah, I probably
It might
won't.
be something that like I keep on the back burner. Like if I really need something, maybe I'll try another one. But like it's definitely not a priority.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm looking at all my to be read stuff.
Yeah, I have enough stuff that I don't need ones that I feel like I'm not going to really like.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I read
but-
this one because I really did like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
this
glad
one
that
was
it
fun.
turned around for me because I was like, I don't want to be that person again. I'm always that person.
Well, what's next month? Are you gonna be that person next month?
I
Dead of
put it-
Winter.
when is it? Yes, I'm definitely doing that. I'm
So
very excited.
Darcy Coates is.
Yeah. Like I gotta buy the book because I have a feeling I'm gonna love that one.
I got so when we were talking about the books and I had them all like piled up, I got too excited and I already actually read it, but I'll reread it.
Well, you're gonna have to.
So excited, I was just like, I like shoved it in my face.
I know that Steph from Once Upon a Bookish Steph, she mentioned possibly joining us for it, but she's in Canada, so times are like really off. But so
We'll figure it
I'll
out.
have to get with her. But
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right, kids.
all right. Well, everyone, thank you for joining our live stream today. If you read the book, I hope you liked it. If you didn't read it, we all seem to recommend it. And we will catch you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.